So, what would I say comparatively to PlayStation State of Play and Summer Games Fest so far? I would say this is probably right around B plus territory. I think there is a lot of fun stuff to be shown. Obviously, I popped off for Persona because I'm probably like one of the few people in the world that popped off for Persona. But I think there was a good flow to it. They didn't linger on things. I mean, they did linger on a couple of things a little bit too long. I think we could have done a little bit less with Forza Horizon. I think what really is holding this back for me is there was a lack of one more thing. Like,
okay,
because we knew we were gonna have, like, hard stop. We knew we were gonna have to get something of Starfield, right? Like, I think that was something that was unavoidable. I think so. Like, yeah, I think a B plus feels right for this. There was nothing. There was no weird like rock advertisements or anything like that. There was no weird things like that. I will say I forgot to record this, so so we only have the Twitch version. So hopefully the Twitch version when I download it, it's gonna have all the audio for us. But so sorry about that. Yeah, B plus feels good. How about you?
Gonna say like B plus feels a little right. I'm gonna say A minus, just barely, because I think I enjoyed this. Yeah, it just felt like for the PlayStation's like summer games showcase that they did, that felt very clunky and there wasn't really a lot. This one,
just to be clear, Summer Games Fest is not PlayStation. It's,
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Compared to PlayStation Summer Games, PlayStation had some good stuff, but I don't know what it is, but maybe Xbox. I don't know. It felt like they had a lot more to look forward to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it just felt like they had a lot more to look forward to, and I was just more excited for the games that they were showing off, if that makes sense.
I think I mentioned I don't know if I mentioned this to you, or it might have been on my ramblings on my personal stream, but one of the things that I said they need to do is show gameplay, and they showed gameplay. Like, I think that's what's separating, especially from the Summer's Game Fest last week. I can't remember if the State of Play that PlayStation did before that had a lot of gameplay. It's been 2 weeks. I've slept since then. But like, Summer Games Fest this past week just showed a lot of CGI trailers, didn't show gameplay, and I think that's a huge difference right there, is that we got a lot of gameplay stuff. We didn't have any awkward sort of, like I said, advertisements. There was a nice flow. We had moments that lingered a little bit too long. We had some talkity moments, but they weren't to the level of the Summer Games Fest. And I think every game that they showed for this particular thing for Xbox Bethesda, I think they showed a wide variety of games. And it wasn't games that looked just like the same over and over again. We'll talk about this more at a later date, but when we do our breakdown of all the different showcases, not just the Xbox and Summer Games Fest and the State of Play and all that, but the Summer Games Fest had a lot of games that looked a lot alike. They showed Callisto Protocol, and then they showed like 5 other games that look almost exactly like Callisto Protocol. So it was really bizarre. This one had a wide variety of things. I think my expectations were met. I honestly didn't have too many expectations. I had a lot of wish list items, but like the realist in me was like, we're probably not going to get this. Like, the only 2 things I was 100% sure of is like hard stop. We were going to have to get Redfield stuff, and we were going to have to get Starfield stuff, just because of the fact that they were both scheduled for this year. I think you needed to show stuff off to show why these games got delayed. And I think we understand. I think there's a better understanding of why Bethesda delayed Starfield now. Because of the scope of Starfield. Starfield looks theoretically very big. Now, how big, how much you're actually going to be able to explore on those planets, how big are those planets really going to be? They say, yeah, you can explore the whole thing, but what does that really mean? You know what I mean? Like, are we going to be locked to like certain zones? Is it going to be fully open world where you start on one side of the planet and then I can run to the other side of the planet and then loop back around? You know what I mean? So like, how big really are these planets? There's 100. They said hundreds, right, of planets to explore. So
for
1,000. So maybe it was 100 systems and 1,000 planets, maybe something like that. But like, I'm interested in seeing really what is that scale. Because we have No Man's Sky that has hundreds of thousands of systems that you can explore and stuff. So I know the mechanics are different and everything. So that doesn't, there's a lot to. It's hard not to compare that that statement there of you have thousands of planets you can explore, but yeah, we have that 1,000 in No Man's Sky. So is it going to be like No Man's Sky where virtually every planet you can land on and stuff like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm interested in seeing what that means in the context of Starfield. The Starfield ending, it felt underwhelming. I don't really know what I was expecting with Starfield with showing the gameplay. The gunplay looks generic as all hell. I said that multiple times. The space combat also looked fairly generic space combat, but I'm interested in how all of that connects and how all that's going to work and what the scale is going to ultimately be for Starfield. But I also think we understand now why it was delayed. You know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely. I'm excited for Starfield to see, because I kind of want to look more into hopefully we get more information about like the skill tree to see how that works and how that'll go into the battle system and the gameplay, and also just seeing how the digging will go into like creating these items and how that affects or what you can change. I think there's a lot of potential there. Of course, I might be looking on the very hopeful side that it'll be very very cool, because it could very well be just come out and be a dud. But
yeah,
I think there's potential to take it places. We'll just have to wait and see as time goes on to see what else they let us know. And yeah, because there's a lot of potential, like you said, with having over 1,000 planets that you explore. Okay, cool. Is that going to be more so like depending where you are in the story, or depending how far you've progressed, you can only go to certain planets, or like you said, like a No Man's Sky, you just go wherever you want.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I definitely understand with the gun, the game mechanics with like the gunplay, like does look very basic. I wonder maybe.
Maybe like as you upgrade your weapons and stuff, it will become more like exciting and bombastic. Maybe that was just because they were popping up with like level 1 and stuff when you were fighting. So maybe it does start generic, but then you gradually progress to like more epic battle sequences or fighting moments.
Exactly. No, definitely.
So what games besides Starfield like popped out for you as we were watching? I know there was a lot of games that got thrown at us, but I made a whole list on the doc if you want to go look at the doc. But I'm curious, like what games jumped out at you as we were going through this?
Of course, Redfall. Definitely jumped. Redfall.
Get it.
Definitely jumped out. Let's see, where's this?
Yeah. It's in the same doc as it's just the Respawn Please.
Okay.
Scroll all the way to the bottom. I'm going to shorten this list when we do a breakdown of all the other ones.
So I really liked the way that Hollow Knight, that Silksong,
yeah,
really stood out to me. Love the art style, and it looks like a great game.
Silksong. Oh my god! You said you have Hollow Knight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely need to play Hollow Knight. It's one of the best platformer, action-y platformer games, Metrovania games that you can play. It's incredible. So
came out, of course, because I love Overwatch. Overwatch 2 came out. I was interested to see the new character. Also free to play, which I think there's been rumors about that they were going to do that, go to free to play. And it's kind of been confirmed, I think, basically, that the game.
Do you think that it's going to be just the multiplayer and not the campaign story stuff? Sort of like what Xbox did with Halo?
I think that's what they're going to do, where the multiplayer will be free, but then whenever they announce the campaign with the skill tree that they're hopefully still doing, that will be something that you'll have to pay for.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. They're trying to draw in more people. I'm gonna say another one that I actually did like. The name is really long. The Last Case of Benedict Fox.
Yeah.
It's a really long name.
Yeah.
But I like the way that it looked, the side scrollery aspect of it. I like that. I think there was one more. Where is it? I'm trying to remember what all these games looked like, because I think Scorn stood out to me a little bit, even though it was a little
grotesque.
Yeah, it was a little grotesque, and I was like, could I get over that, or is it something,
Yeah.
It kind of stood out to me. And then I think, was there one more? I can't remember what's As Dusk Falls. Which one was that one?
It was the stop motion.
Oh, that's right. That looks interesting, but kind of like how you were chiming in on. I wonder if after a while will that stop motion affect me and take me out of the game, because the rest of the world seems to be 3D.
Yeah.
And will that affect me? I think it's an interesting way to go about it, but I don't know if it'll, in the long run, kind of just take me out of it and be like, I wish these were actually just 3D characters,
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'm so intrigued by Dusk at Dawn, or at Dusk, whatever. What was the name?
Dusk Till Dawn. No, As Dusk Falls.
As Dusk Falls. Yeah, we're gonna make it Dusk Till Dawn, the vampire thing. Anyways, what's up?
I was gonna say that Cocoon also looked like a great game. That's the one with you're the bug, and it has it's like a little platformer made from inside and
the inside. Yeah. I should write that down. Inside, folks. Inside and Limbo dudes.
Yeah, that one looked interesting. I really like that. Excuse me. And other than that, I'm trying to remember, because I think I don't remember Ravenlock.
Yeah, I don't remember Ravenlock. So like I'm looking at the list for me. The things that jumped out at me are, Redfall. I love Redfall. Yeah. I love the idea of Redfall. I love arcane games, so I'm so damn excited for Redfall. It looks awesome. It has a Left 4 Dead feel, but with vampires. I have it playing again on the stream, like as we're talking. I just have it on loop right now. But yeah, God, this game looks so damn good. Like the one thing I'm scared of is that. Is the support for it, like how much are they going to support for it? I feel like games like this needs to have consistent updates, like new things to do, or it's going to fall off very quickly, you know what I mean? So like, God, yeah, the watching, I have it playing from YouTube now, and watching it looks so much better because we're not compressed streaming live anymore. So it looks so much better. Oh my God, Silksong looks so good. Because I've been watching it through the compressed version of Twitch, but now we have the high def version on YouTube. It looks so damn good. You need to go back and watch it, like specifically Silksong. God, it looks so good. But Redfall, popped for me. Hollow Knight, Silksong. That was one of the rumors that I saw, that Silksong was going to be announced. That was one of the things that got leaked this morning too, was that Silksong was going to make an appearance. So I kind of got that spoiled for me. But I also I think it was more of a rumor than it was a confirmed leak, and but still a little. Oh yeah. Getting a hint of that made it not pop for me as much. But I do love Hollow Knight. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. Plague Tale Requiem looks awesome. Again, I love the first game, so I think Plague Tale Innocence, if you haven't played it yet, you definitely need to. It's on Game Pass, so play it if you haven't yet, because it has one of the best stories, one of the best narratives in a game in a long time. I love the narrative for Plague Tale, the brother-sister relationship, being the older sister. You play primarily as the older sister, I can't remember the character names off the top of my head right now, but just like the dynamic of the brother and sister is awesome. The just overall creepiness of the story and what you're trying to do looks awesome. Oh, the Rick and Morty game looks cool. It just popped up. I thought that looked pretty dang dope. The High Life is what it's called, from the creators of Rick and Morty is what it was.
I was gonna say Flintlock looked cool too. That's the one with the little fox.
Yeah, Flintlock looks, oh my God, that looks amazing. I'm excited and ready for that. I remember seeing it at the indie showcase that Xbox did months ago at this point, and I remember seeing that and going, man, this looks incredible. And we saw gameplay this time, because I think it was just a CG the last time. So seeing gameplay now and seeing that it's pretty close, right? The release date's not too far away. Yeah, it's 2023. I like how I have like day one, and then it's like I don't even bother writing day one Game Pass anymore. I'm so glad I was right about that. I knew like going into, I was like, I expect like every single game to have the day one Game Pass. Like, were you surprised by the fact that it was day one Game Pass consistently across the board, every single game that they showed?
Not really, not anymore, because I think it's just, they Xbox is all about Game Pass.
Yeah.
It's like that's like their bread and butter. Game Pass, that's like the baby. They're like, this is what we're getting behind.
Yeah.
And they're emphasizing that. I feel like, of course, the same clip that was seen throughout everything the most was, of course, that day one Game Pass. And so they're letting it be known like, hey, Starfield, this AAA game or whatever, day one. These other games, day one. It's
yeah,
just
like even the indie games, because Hollow Knight's technically an indie game. Day one, you're gonna play it on Game Pass day one. I think that's the smart thing to do. Like, you want people to come to your service. You want to show the value of your service. I think, if anything, this was an incredible commercial for Game Pass. Is the best way I can describe it. Like, if you want to convince people to get Game Pass, 100%. This right here this works. Like, if we were grading just on that, this gets an S for me. S tier, because this was a fantastic commercial for Game Pass. Because I think they touched on games that are going to appeal to a large range of people. Again, the Persona pop for me, because I love Persona. I'm excited for Persona. There's been talk about Persona coming to Xbox for years now, and so finally to see it get away from PlayStation, because Persona has been locked to PlayStation for so gosh darn long. Like, every mainline Persona game has always been exclusive to PlayStation, with the exception of Persona 4 Golden when it came out a year or two ago on Steam. And so finally seeing it get away from PlayStation, I hope this means that in the future, more Persona games are going to come to Xbox. Like, it won't just be locked to PlayStation anymore. It's going to be, you'll have more options to play it. I think it's awesome that you're getting Persona 3, 4, and 5 on Game Pass. Hopefully we will see Persona 1 and 2 maybe in the future. I know, like, the 1 and 2 aren't as like beloved as 3, 4, and 5, but I think it would still be cool to see like those past Persona games potentially. I don't know how difficult that would be, because both of those Persona games were locked to PlayStation 1, I believe. I think Persona 3 was on PlayStation 2. Yeah, Persona 1 and 2, though, were definitely on PlayStation, so I don't know how difficult that would potentially be getting that gaming forward. What are your thoughts on the Riot games, the whole Riot catalog pretty much coming to Game Pass?
Hey, I'm not mad at it. I'm not upset. I'm not mad at it. I'm like, this is just one. It's funny how earlier you were saying that basically this is like a great commercial for Xbox Game Pass, because one could say that these games, they're great games, but really Microsoft, the main thing they were wanting to push that was not in the forefront was that Game Pass, man.
Yeah.
And like, as I think what's happening, they're just setting themselves up for future success to have all these games available on Game Pass.
Yeah.
And so with Riot bringing their whole catalog, I'm like, man, they're just making Game Pass like undeniable almost. Like, hey, just pay this amount and you get all these games, and it just improves over time.
Now, I have a question for you, and this is mere speculation. On this part. Do you think this potentially leads to Microsoft buying Riot?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
like
that's the initial thought I had in my brain was like, oh, they're about to announce that they're buying Riot. That's what I thought at first, because I was like, oh shit, the Riot's going to become a Xbox game studio. And it wouldn't surprise me, like, if a year or two down the road, like after the Activision Blizzard deal settles and we see all that Xbox comes out and goes, yeah, we're gonna, we've had this for 3-4 years now. We've had this relationship with Riot, and we're gonna make it official. We're putting a ring on it. We're bringing him into the fold. And man, that would be insane, like, market corner for Xbox if they did this. Again, this is speculation. Obviously, we have no idea what the hell is going to happen, but they would be cornering the market for, like, especially like esports games, because they would have League of Legends, they would have Valorant, they would have Overwatch if they did that. So it would be an insane sort of corner-y game. The only thing I would hesitate with that is that aesthetically, Riot games look very similar to a lot of Blizzard games like Overwatch and World of Warcraft and stuff like that. But like that was my initial reaction when initially Riot popped up. I was like, oh, they're buying Riot. That's what I didn't vocalize it, but that's what went through my head. And then I was like, oh no, they're going to bring Valorant, they're going to bring League of Legends over, they're going to have all that stuff over on Game Pass side, which is really funny because you can just download the Riot launcher and play them all free to begin with. So whatever.
Hey, that's hilarious.
It's not like any of the games you had to pay for to begin with, but yeah, I think it's cool though. I think it's pretty cool. I'm trying to look at other games. So when I mentioned Ark, you seemed surprised by Vin Diesel.
Oh yeah, no, because I'd never heard that.
You didn't?
Never heard. I didn't know that he was in the game.
Oh yeah, I like how I mentioned it, and then it's like they immediately showed him.
I was like, wait, he's been in this game? Like, 'cause I've seen other people play Ark before, but I didn't know that he was in that series. I was like, what?
When they first announced Ark a couple, like it was, I think it's been like 2 or 3 years now. They announced it. Vin Diesel came out. I was like, yeah, guys, he opened it with like, I've played hundreds of hours of Ark 1, and I'm so excited to be in the game.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see that.
You know what's interesting about that?
What? You believe
what
him?
is another? No, I was going to say PlayStation, but Summerfest they had The Rock.
Oh yeah,
Xbox had Vin Diesel. Well, and they don't like each other, so
man,
they're like
beef there. Yeah.
But no.
Yeah. Man, are you gonna play Ark? Did you ever play the first Ark, or you said you've seen people play it?
Play it. I per se, it's not really a game that I would play per se, and so but it looks fun. But I think I can't invest as much time into it as I would like to.
Yeah, I feel that. Like, I think I've tried playing Ark many times. It's just it's not for me. It's another game that's not for me. Yeah. Minecraft Legends looked dope as hell. I'm really interested in seeing that the action or the strategy game that they showed for Minecraft. I like Minecraft getting into multiple different fields now, are different genres. So you have the Minecraft game itself, but then you have Minecraft Dungeons. Now you have Minecraft Legends, and they're all very different from each other, but have that Minecraft look to it. So I think that, oh my God, dude, it just got to the Forza Motorsport section. You need to go watch the Forza Motorsport section on the YouTube, high definition, 1080 or whatever. Without the Twitch compression on it. God, this game looks gorgeous. Anyways, trying to think, what other games? Pentiment, I'm excited about that because I love Obsidian. The fact that it's coming around, it's November 2022. That makes me excited because I love Obsidian games. I love Outer World. I love Star Wars Knights of the Republic 2. I love the South Park games because they made the South Park games. I think they only made the first South Park game actually, Stick of Truth, if you remember that. Yeah. Then they have Pillars of Eternity. They have Pillars of Eternity. What's the other one? Tyranny. There's a lot of, they make incredible RPGs, and so I'm excited to play Pentiment. I was a little turned off by the look of it at first, but then if they would have opened with "this is Obsidian game," I would have popped and it would have been all on board the entire time.
Yeah, it has an interesting look to it, and so it looks interesting.
Yeah. What else for you? Anything else for you that popped?
I want to say, let me see. Let me look at this list one more time. I can't remember what was or wait, no, I think I'm already said, never mind. I already said that one. I think that was it for me.
Yeah.
From what I remember, there wasn't I think I've said all the ones that I actually like. Plague Tale Requiem does look cool. I might have to go back to the first one before I go into that one.
Yeah, you probably are gonna have to, because I think this is like a direct sequel and all that. So I'm sure they'll probably have like a great recap at the beginning of the game, but you should still play. You should still play Requiem or Innocence, Plague Tale Innocence.
Nice.
yeah, going through this again. Did the Fallout 76 stuff make you want to go back to it? Did it look cool for you? I know it did for me. It did for me. So
yeah. It does look cool to me. Because I've always like, I think I tried to play like Fallout 3 a long time ago, but I couldn't get into it as much. But I've always wanted to go back to give it another try and then go into like Fallout 4. But it does look interesting. It does make me, now that there's like a story, because I've heard, when it first came out, it was just all wonky and didn't really have anything. It makes me want to go back into it now that they're like finally giving it the attention that it needs in order for it to like be successful. So
yeah, awesome.
But other than that,
how about that Hot Wheels DLC for Forza Horizon?
Hey, that looks really fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. That looks really fun. It makes me want to go play that. I love that idea. Somebody was like, "Yeah, let's just throw Hot Wheels in the world." Yeah. You can go. You can do so much cool stuff with it.
Yeah, you know what Mexico. What I associate Mexico with? Hot Wheels.
Exactly.
Two things live side by side.
Hot Wheels in Mexico. Hilarious.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna go back and I'm definitely gonna go back and play the Hot Wheels DLC for Forza Horizon. I already liked Forza Horizon 5. I think I've mentioned this before, but Horizon the 5 got me into racing games. Like, I did not give a crap about racing games before then, but like playing that game, it just feels good driving the cars. Like I really dig like the open world Mexico area. I'm interested in checking out this Hot Wheels DLC. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Outside of that, Gunfire Reborn looked really fun. I'm interested in the 4-player co-op. Again, I mentioned this in stream. I don't think I mentioned it for Gunfire. Like, it takes a lot for me to look at a multiplayer game and go, yeah, I want to play that, because I don't like relying on people when it comes to playing video games. That's one of the things that's kind of turning me away from Diablo 4 right now. Because Diablo 4 looked cool, but like the moment they started going, yeah, then you're going to need a team of a lot of people to take down this boss, and like, no, I'm gonna pass on that. I don't want to play with people at all. But Gunfire Reborn looked like I think I misspelled Gunfire Reborn, by the way. I could put Gunfire Reborn. Gunfire looked fun though, because it was the cartoony, like, you had the little animals and stuff with the weapons, the rabbits, the crocodiles, and all that stuff. So it looked cool. The Last Cape Benedict Fox, as much as I was like, this is too long of a name, looks cool. I'm interested in playing it. What else for me? I think that's really about it. Are you gonna check out Sea of Thieves?
I might. Man, but like, then kind of like how you were saying before, is Sea of Thieves one of those where you kind of need to play with people?
Yeah, it is. You can, so you can play by yourself, and your mileage may vary with it.
Okay.
I've played Sea of Thieves for plenty of hours by myself, sailing the seas. The controlling the ship, sailing the ships, it like hands down is some of the best like gameplay. As weird as that is, like maneuvering the ship, running back and forth, like lowering the sails, raising the sails, manipulating the sails, all of that I think has some of the best like ship mechanics. As I don't really know how to describe this. Some of the best ship mechanics in game. It just feels good navigating the seas with the boat, even by yourself. When you have other people playing, when you're using the larger ships, you have to have somebody else play with you. You can't do that by yourself. But I think Sea of Thieves is a game that you need. Like, for long-term play, you definitely need a team, but I think if you played in short bursts, I think there's enough there in short bursts to get you through it. And now they do have a story, and the story stuff you can do solo. You don't have to rely on other people. So I think that's the perk of it. But like, to do a lot of like, if you want to have a like long-term relationship with the game, is the best way I can say that, is, you need to have a group of friends to play with and stuff like that. But I think Sea of Thieves, even by itself, is worth playing for in short bursts here and there. I think, again, your mileage may vary depending on how you connect with the game and how you like the gameplay loop, because the gameplay loop is you get treasure maps and you go to the different islands and collect the treasure. That is the gameplay loop. So if you if you're not enjoying the sailing, doing a lot of sailing, running around islands, trying to interpret the riddles of the maps, because all the maps have like little riddles going, look past the stone structure, walk 5 paces and you'll be at the spot you can dig. And then you got to figure out, okay, what the hell is the stone structure? Okay, 5 paces, I can dig here. Oh wait, that's the wrong spot. I had to go left instead of right. Let me go back now. Wow. Follow the sun to the shiny spot on the beach to get to X marks the spot. So there's like little riddles you have to figure out and stuff. So that could be a little annoying, especially if you're like, I don't know what the hell this means. What am I supposed to be looking for? Find the picture on the wall. It's things like that. So obviously, again, if you're not vibing with the gameplay, completely understandable. I enjoyed it for the short burst. But yeah, you definitely need friends if you want to consistently play and to get the full experience, because it's fun. It's fun playing on a sloop. The sloop is the like 1-person vessel that you can play on. It's fun, but also when you see the other ships on the horizon, you're like, man, the sloop is so tiny compared to these extravagant, huge ships that have 4 or 5 players on them. Like, it's like, oof. But I would recommend it for a little short burst if you're interested in giving it a go. And they, and their story stuff is separate, I believe, from the actual, from the standard loop game. But I rambled on. I apologize.
Fine. Yeah, definitely. I might check it out. I think it would be cool because it does have that potential, I think, to, just enjoy it and enjoy that game and like its game.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah. Give it a shot. See what you think. What else? I'm looking at the list. There's nothing really, anything else that's jumping out at me. I know a lot of people are gonna. I don't know really what I was expecting with the Kojima thing. Were you wanting, when Kojima came up, were you also expecting gameplay, or were you just sold because of Kojima?
Oh, this was what I was expecting. I was expecting Kojima, even though I gave up on him like right before he came.
Right before. You spoke a little bit too soon. If you would have held out like another 10 minutes.
No, I was expecting him, but the most that I was expecting was like some sort of title card with the title of the game. Yeah. Because I think, if I remember reading something when that information got leaked about Kojima, that he was they were barely getting started. So I was expecting at least like, this is the title of the game or this is the thing that I'm working on. Really, all he did, he just basically took a break from his job and he's like, hey, I'm here. I'm on my lunch break. Just coming to say hello. Yes, we're working together on this cloud, Xbox Cloud thing, Game Pass. Got to get back to work.
Do you think it's going to be this overdose stuff that's rumored?
Maybe.
Because right? Because that's Kojima, right? The rumors with overdoses, Kojima stuff.
I think so, if I remember right. Yeah. We'll see. Because like I've said a million times before, I'm excited with the types of games that he makes, because it's always like it's just like a science experiment, and you're kind of just like, he has this brain of stuff that he's just putting together, mushing, and he's like, let's make this idea. And so it has the potential to be a good game or to be a meh game. So
yeah, I saw the Kojima stuff like got leaked and stuff beforehand. So I was like, yeah, it's coming. Eventually. I did get it. I did like the leaks for me, like the ones I saw was that like it's connected to overdose and all this other stuff, but yeah, I really don't know what I was expecting with Kojima thing. Like, I've mentioned this before. I'm not the biggest Kojima fan. Like, I think his name is recognizable. I understand like what he's done for the business and everything, video games, and I obviously think he's brilliant. But like, I'm not the biggest fan of the Metal Gear Solid games. I haven't played Death Stranding at all. Probably never will play Death Stranding. So I'm just like, I'm interested, but I'm also like, when it popped, I was like, oh, this is he's just talking. There's nothing here. The moment it was like, oh yeah, and I'm just making the announcement, working on a title with the Xbox. because anything can happen between now and whenever this game might get released, if it ever does. Because tomorrow Kojima may go, yeah, I don't want to work with Xbox anymore. Exactly. So that's the end of there. So we never get this game. So I guess it is good that they didn't actually like give a title for the game or anything like that, or show anything for it, because it could be like a year from now, Kojima and Xbox just part ways, and whatever this project was never comes to life. Because that's happened with Xbox games before, where Xbox has announced games and then they canceled them. Do you remember a game called Scalebound?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It got announced. People were excited because it was like Devil May Cry meets like giant dragon things. Do you remember? Yeah. And people were excited about it, and then like it disappeared for a while, and then Xbox was like, "Yeah, we canceled it." So.
All right, we're not doing anything with this.
So that could be what happens here. We won't hear any, like Kojima may, we won't hear anything about the Kojima thing for like a year or two, and then it'll be like, yeah, Xbox and Kojima parted ways over creative differences or whatever. So I'm cautiously optimistic about where this might be with Kojima.
Same.
We'll see. We'll see what it's going to be. We'll see what kind of game it's going to be. Yeah, I think, again, overall, giving the more I talk about it, the more I think about it, I feel more confident in my B+ rating. It just doesn't quite hit the A for me. There wasn't, outside of Persona, there wasn't a big pop for me. As you can see by my reaction to Persona. I'm the only person in the world that just got super excited. It's like, God, he loves freaking Persona. So... But like, yeah, there wasn't really a big pop. I think they had great pacing. I think the games they showed were all good. That Starfield ending, I was kind of like underwhelmed by it, but I'm also, I've mentioned this many times. I've already said this many times. No matter what, I'm going to play it. So it doesn't even matter if I was underwhelmed, because I'm still going to play it, and I'm probably still going to love it. So Starfield didn't have this, like, it didn't quite... I don't know how to say this, because I don't want to say it didn't leave me wanting more, because I do want more of Starfield, but it didn't leave me with excitement, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense, yeah.
So I feel good about my B+. Have I convinced you to lower it from an A-?
No, I think I'm still at A-. I just felt, I think this is me looking at the glass half full. Yeah. I'm hoping for that potential, because all these games, I was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind playing that. But I think what it is, the difference between Summer Games Fest and then the PlayStation State of Play is that, man, Xbox and their damn day one with Game Pass. That's all it is. As long as you have Game Pass, you get to play them, and I don't have to think about spending so much more money when I have Game Pass.
You don't have to budget for a 60, 70, 80, 90, $100 game or whatever.
Exactly. And so with that, I'm like, I can just download it, play it, and if I don't like it, there you go.
You lost the subscription. You barely even lost the subscription fee.
Exactly. And so that's the thing with me. And I think that's why I'm giving it that A-, because I'm like, cool. I have the potential. I have this smorgasbord of games to try and play and kind of give and go.
Yeah. I completely agree. Like, again, coming into this, I was fully expecting every single game is going to be Game Pass game.
Yep.
If not all of it, is either going to be all of them or the majority of them. And when I say majority, I was thinking like 95% of them was going to be Game Pass. But every single one was Game Pass. It was day one Game Pass are going to be, well, no, all of them were day one Game Pass, right? So it's like, that's the direction. I think, again, this was a S tier commercial for Game Pass.
Yep.
Now, as a showcase conference thing, I do lower it because it wasn't as exciting on that aspect for me.
Yep.
Like, but I love it. I'm going to play probably the majority of the games. I don't think there's a single game that I looked at and wasn't like, I'm gonna skip it. I mean, Naraka, but I don't play battle royales, and I've already seen enough stuff on Naraka to know that I'm never going to play this game. And then probably the Riot games, probably not. I probably won't dive into Valorant or anything like that, but but the vast majority of these games I think look incredible, look awesome. Again, I'm just missing the big pop at the end. I think they had a good opening. I think opening with Redfall was really good. I think the middle, I don't think there was any, it never felt like there was any real lagging for me. I think spending a little bit too much time on Diablo and Forza.
Yeah.
But even then, that was when I started feeling like, okay, this is a little bit too much. It kind of wrapped up not long after that feeling arrived. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it had really good pacing. I will say, like, man, this goes back to, I just didn't feel like any games other than Persona popped for me. Was there like was there a middle spot for you that really popped out at you?
A middle spot?
Like looking at this list, like relatively in the middle would have been Scorn, Flintlock, Minecraft Legends. That would have been the like middle area.
Okay.
Flintlock popped for me, but like it wasn't a oh my god pop.
Yeah, I kind of felt like either Flintlock or Scorn, but it wasn't like a whoa, this is like, you know, like a big pop for me. It was more so like, whoa, this looks, different.
Yeah.
But no, not necessarily in the middle for me.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm coming from with my B plus. That it just didn't feel like there were too many pops. Like
Definitely.
all the games looked awesome.
Yeah.
But nothing really made me go fuck yes, except for Persona.
Persona
was at the end. Persona was at the end, or towards the end.
Yeah.
And that was more because of the expectation, because I didn't think Persona was ever going to be leaving PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like Persona has been with a PlayStation game since its inception. So it was like. And that's not to say like there's been Persona spin-off games, like the fighting Persona game, fighting Persona 4 Arena, the Persona dancing games, rhythm games. Have you ever seen the Persona rhythm games?
I think I have.
It's like Dancing Under Moonlight, something like that. Yeah. It's Persona Dancing Under Moonlight, something else like that. Dude. It's just Persona music, rhythm game. It's awesome. It's incredible. It's Dance Dance Revolution meets Persona, basically.
Gotcha.
It's incredible. I love Persona so much that yes, I have played those. Like I said, I love Persona, so I'm excited to see it play on Xbox, which is a weird thing because I've played all the Persona games, so there's no reason for me to really get excited about this because I own them all already on PlayStation or on PC or whatever. But like just knowing that's coming to Game Pass, that other people are going to experience, made me excited, and it makes me excited for the future of Persona 2 to potentially Persona 6 whenever that comes out. Maybe that'll be Xbox come out on Game Pass. That's what I think that's really what is coming down for me, is that the future for Persona now with a relationship with Xbox and what that means going forward, because that could mean that Persona is going to consistently be on Game Pass now.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
I mean, and you need to play them. You need to play them. I'll just come to that. Everybody, go play Persona. When Persona 5 drops in October, go play it. The one thing I will say kind of bums me out that they're not all dropping at once.
Oh yeah, it's one by one.
Yeah, it's one by one, starting with Persona 5, and then in 2023 we'll get Persona 3 and 4. But yeah, other than that, I will say this has been the best conference that I've watched so far. I still need to watch the other ones. I hear Devolver Digital is amazing. Okay. Have you watched any of the other ones?
No, I've kind of been too busy to catch in or kind of go into the stream to watch them.
Yeah. I'm just probably going to throw them on in the background and watch them.
Okay.
Devolver Digital always has like fun. Have you ever watched the Devolver Digital showcase?
I haven't seen it.
They're highly produced. They're really freaking funny. And usually Devolver games are pretty damn awesome. So this, from what I understand, from what I hear about this one, it's really good. And then there's one that the Day of the Devs was supposed to be really good as well. So on Thursday, our next podcast, we're going to do a full breakdown of all of the game showcases, from State of Play to Summer Games Fest to the Xbox, and then everything that's in between, like I've just mentioned, Devolver Digital, the Day of the Devs, all of that. We'll break that all down on the next episode, which will be coming later this week on Thursday. Elias, you want to close this out here?
Yes, sir. Thanks, everybody, for checking in or coming in onto the stream to check out the Xbox Bethesda Showcase. You can always catch us every Thursday on twitch.tv/Respawn Please Podcast, right?
Yes, please podcast.
Okay. Respawn Please Podcast. Also, the video versions of the podcast are available on our YouTube, which is Respawn Please Podcast. Also, follow our social media pages for the podcast, which is at Respawn Please Podcast for Instagram as well as TikTok. I keep forgetting the Twitter. I forgot the.
It's Respawn Please.
Respawn Please. So that's on the Twitter. Make sure you follow, like, and subscribe to all our social media channels for future episodes. The audio versions is also as well are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere that you can get podcasts. If you like to listen to the audio version instead of the video, so you can take us everywhere you go. And other than that, thanks for joining.
And before we leave here, we have a special announcement. Well, I have a special announcement. We are going to be launching a Respawn Please website fairly soon. Be on the lookout for that. There's going to be written articles by me, and we're going to review games as well. And you'll also be able to get all the podcast stuff there as well. So be on the lookout for that. It's in the works. I'm aiming for a July launch, but we'll see if that happens. There's a lot of factors going into this, so be on the lookout for that. And thank you all so much for joining us. This was our live reaction and recap of the Xbox Bethesda Showcase. I can fairly say that so far this has been the best one. I love it. Al, did you love it?
Yes, I loved it.
How much did you love it? Did you love it to, you know what? We're not even going to get into this because I was about to get really inappropriate. Anyways, thank you all for joining us. Have a wonderful Sunday. Have a wonderful week. We will see you all on Thursday. Peace.
Peace.